Hello everyone, Sandra here, and I'm trying to remember what I wanted to do, and I decided we're gonna go get ourselves infused. That's probably what we're gonna do. Seems like a plan. Yeah, because this is abysmal. This poor guy. I need Rodgort's Invocation, and we're gonna go get it. That requires getting a little bit further in this here campaign. My next priority is probably actually I don't know if that's right. I got Elias. Let's get some valuable experience on that guy. Okay, and Talcora is doing UA. That's probably fine. I could probably use some more air magic elites, but the good ones are not in this campaign. That's fine. Okay, Gwen is fine. Yeah, I need to set up Elias, but otherwise people look relatively reasonable on their bars. What do I actually want to do with him? I think I'm going to give him like 8 blood magic. Not going to worry about minions. I'm going to give him like... How long is the... Like 8 prot prayers and... Soul reaping. Yeah, that seems fine. Still gonna slap on rest chant though. Strip enchantment's actually a pretty decent skill, but I'm not sure that I need to worry about enchantments here so much. Mostly we're going for actually having a Bipper. And this is good and helpful. Everything else is, he's just a bit low leveled, so he's going to be a bit weak. But I wanted to give him Prot Spirit. Another copy of this is good stuff as well. And more hex removal is always good. Gordon's Gaze, I guess. Well of Blood, sure, why not? Maybe a little bit defensive heavy, this party. Maybe very defensive heavy. But it should be fine. It should be fine. Okay, I guess we just enter the mission now. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Superior Divine Favor. Okay. Iron Mines of Muladun time. Because this character has 60 AL armor. So we're good. Good to go. Needs better equipment in terms of weapons, but that is a different matter entirely. This is a spot where we can just run past, so I'm going to flag my guys. I'd rather not get involved in this particular turf war. Ooh, I'll be able to get Thunderclap soon. That's definitely something I want. Well, we might not be able to avoid this particular turf war. Nope, they broke aggro. They broke aggro, everyone. We're good. Or did they? Okay, they did. Somebody followed instructions, and now we're off. Ah, man. I don't know. There's something about you can't just climb these that makes the mountains feel taller. That might be kind of a weird sentiment, but I definitely feel it. Get mine burned. I forget even where I captured mine burn anymore. It was long enough ago. I've taken long enough on playing this account. Oh yeah, look at that. Ow. 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 Get rocked. Well, it kind of worked a little bit. Man, Glyph of Sacrifice is such a cool skill. Just insta rocks is very nice. Got the Firestorm off. Yeah, these guys have a little bit of additional armor against fire, but it's not like huge. So I'm actually doing reasonable damage against them, which is nice. Also, having a Bipper is definitely helping it. I am confident of that. There it goes. Yeah, there goes Elias. Oh my goodness. Did you see that? The enemy died in Elias. Look at how quickly Elias' death penalty is going down. Holy crap. Like, 3 enemies died and he lost 6 DP. He's getting like 150 experience per these guys dying. That is freaking wild. How much am I getting? 21? Yeah, Elias might be getting some amped up experience here. Holy crap. That is phenomenally, like, his death penalty has been completely wiped out. That is fascinating to see. Yeah, this is something interesting. Like, these are actually not that big, but because they're impassable, they feel more imposing. Whereas in Guild Wars 2, you just bound right over them if you wanted to. Hop on a sky scale and boom, you're at the top. It's interesting to think about how the mobility options change the way that the world feels. Wow, these trolls are really fire resistant. Oh, they're probably rangers. That's probably why. I mean, the burning still does good work, so. Because they use troll unguent. That's why I say they're probably rangers. I need to remember to bring a Sign of Capture soon. Because when I go to fight the Marsat, I'm going to want to capture Thunderclap. I typically have gone this way. I'm not entirely sure why. Oof. Yeah, that guy was using Healing Signet when I hit him with the Fireball, and it did a lot more damage, because that's how that works. I'm just going to slow cast a Meteor Shower here. It's not like that guy's going to do anything, so... Don't think taking that much extra damage from Flare is necessarily worth it, but what do I know? UA also being able to get Elias instantly back up was really nice. Fighting Z coordinates. This is a challenge that you see sometimes. It comes from these things being at the same coordinate, and it just doesn't know which one to draw first. So when it's like re-rendering the area, you can kind of get either one, and it gets really wonky and messy. It doesn't happen a ton, but it just happens here and there in some places. I did kind of rune these people's up a bit, didn't I? Nice, nice. Ow. That dealt just an enormous amount of damage. So Cora, you should work on that. We're not doing the bonus this time. Hope everyone's doing well. It's currently Halloween time in Guild Wars 2. I don't think that started yet in Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 1 holiday seasons are shorter on average than Guild Wars 2 holiday seasons, so. These guys are technically warriors. They might be both, though. I'm not sure if I'll try to do Halloween quests. Probably wouldn't hurt. I suspect they reward a decent amount of gold, but I would need to. Well, I dropped rocks, but I don't think it matters much. Anyway. I probably don't need Glyph of Lester on this bar. I'm not really running into problems that way. I guess it doesn't necessarily hurt to have it, but... Glowing Gaze, if I have that, yes. Would probably just straight up be better. Oh yeah, I need to remember to go do the stuff for my remaining attribute points. That's not too bad to do from here, but I do want... I need to wander off and get Copper Hammer. Yeah, whatever, we're gonna finish this, and then I should go do that. Those siege weapons hurt. These Blessed Griffin are annoying because they use Spellbreaker. I actually used Spellbreaker the other day. Was it for like the Frostgate? Because I've been doing this Young Heroes of Tyria playthrough with the sort of Sunday play group that I'm a part of. And so we were doing Frostgate, and I'm playing on an assassin for that. And if you know anything about playing a melee in hard mode in some of those Northern Shiver Peaks, you know that the Frost Summit sages spam empathy like nobody's business, and I was just tired of having a friggin' 70 damage, high level, I mean much higher than this, I level empathy on me continuously, and it would be removed and instantly reapplied. And it was just so aggravating. So I did the only logical thing. I brought Spellbreaker. Because if Spellbreaker's on you, they can't cast empathy on you. Spellbreaker, I brought a monk. Kind of a smiting-ish monk, but with Spellbreaker because it's Divine Favor. And that allowed me to avoid the issue. By having some nice additional defenses. And these guys are extremely armored. Doing less than half, which means I have over 100 armor against fire. That's wild. Oh, this guy, though, has much less armor. That's interesting, that the boss has almost no armor compared to the regular enemies. It's very interesting. That bear just instantly combusted. It's like level 5, so that's kind of what you expect. I'm surprised Elias hasn't leveled up yet. Actually. It's good. I need the wood for making parchment for my... That's right. The last thing I had done was hop on this character to go get parchment made, and I still needed a good bit. Well, that didn't work out well. How am I on capsics on this character? I've got 2. Firestorm is one of my favorite spells in the game. I don't know, just aesthetically I like it so much. It looks really cool from a distance, just seeing the fire fall from the sky. Put this on before I get too close here. View of target foe is obstructed, you say? Okay, yep. Seer wants us to go kill the Eidolon. Oh, you know, I should have brought a Sign of Capture for that, too. Mist form and all of that. But, oh well. It's not super important. There'll be other Eidolons to hunt later. And low it will be fine. Very good spell, that one. I need to remember to swap in Glowing Gaze once we're done with this mission. Yeah, we'll get one in the Ring of Fire, I think. Probably go for that bonus. I wonder why that one took more damage. Elias did level up. Let's give him more soul reaping for now. Sometimes the pathing geometry here is a wee bit strange. One thing that I appreciate that Guild Wars 2 did is give Meteor Shower a larger AoE size. Even if it feels less potent than it does in this game. Feels just like a souped up firestorm, not like a meteor shower. But 'tis what it is. There's a nice little run speed buff. Thank you. That really is understated, but here we are. We're infused now. I need to get cost better gear. Casters are a lot more forgiving in that regard. Enchanting weapon would be good for Elias. Make his BIP last longer. Of course, I want an enchanting staff myself. Ugh. Man, we're at the point where being an elementalist makes you feel like dead weight. With some of these enemies' armor values. It's abysmal. Rocks fall, the enemies die. One hopes, anyway. Yeah, I needed a bip there. Okay, that was probably not the right time to use that particular glyph. But what you're gonna do? I might be able to get some energy out of it. Yeah, I got 4 energy out of it. So it was net -1 energy. Huzzah. I'm gonna take this group in the middle here out. Thunderclap. It thunderclapped me. It's a little difficult to hit some of these guys when you're using projectiles and they're potentially obstructed. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. These guys have a lot of energy. Yeah, we finally figured it out and we've come to extract our vengeance. You've got it exactly right. Just have some rocks now. Slightly better damage against these guys, I guess. I'm happy for all these Raven staves. I might even get lucky and have one of them be highly salvageable. Yay, we did it. Firestorm in the distance. Okay, well, no more Firestorm, so no more reason to watch the cutscene. That's how that works, right? TH Sleep Fest. Hey. What do you know? Got a really bad insightful. That fed though. 36 wood planks. Not bad. Not bad at all. Look at that. All those staves paying off. These might drop. Yep, like that one just did. Steel ingots. Yeah, I was wanting to swap on glowing gaze. Just do that. Good improvement. Okay, so I need 38, which is just under 200. So, you know, getting closer. Kerbin. Yeah, I should make my way over to Copperhammer. It should be here-ish, I think. I should check. There's a good chance that the Frozen Forest, I think, has... Yeah, good old crippling English like normal. But it does have ward against harm. And technically water trident. Do I have water trident? Yes. But ward against harm is a potentially useful pickup. That would actually be kind of funny. I could use Arcane Mimicry to grab Elemental Attunement off of Aklai Sasuke, which would be reasonable. Let's actually do it. That seems like fun. I'm swapping those things around just because I'm not going to, you know, do other stuff. So might as well bring a Signet of Capture is my point. That is my point. Let's grab that so we can dual attune and mind burn. Slightly more firepower too while we're at it. Literally and figuratively. Yeah, Maelstrom in me. It's cute if you're randomly being able to dual tune like that. Arkel is Havenwood is the name of the boss. I should lower the wiki so I can see my chat in case somebody shows up to chat. I mean, there might be people lurking, which they are welcome to do. But I'm not like paying attention to numbers to know that. What am going to do is shoot fire at trees, which works quite well. Oh my goodness, this is pitiful. I want to have a word with whoever designed these armor values and ask them why. Did they realize what they were doing to us poor elementalists? I did not bother to check to see where the boss spawns, because that is not the point. If I get it, cool. If I don't, whatever. Sasuke, I'm going to borrow your attunement again. Thank you. Strip enchantment. Don't know who that hit, but it wasn't me, and I'm glad for that. I'm going to reapply the elemental attunement when it's recharged. Make it last a little bit longer. 51 seconds, so I get it for 20 seconds. It won't last the whole cooldown on that, that's for sure. I was just glancing over there to see if there was any sort of useful boss names. There were not. This is more than 20 armor. This is 40 to... Warriors have an additional 20 armor against elemental damage. But in order to be able to more than halve my damage, they have over 100 armor against fire. Couldn't tell you what it actually is, though. My staff happened to give me... Excuse me, I had a yawn there. My staff happened to give me a quick recharge, so I was able to redo it that one time. Let's see. Unthet Rotwood is not the boss that I need. Nor can I get his skill. A wooden buckler, you say? A raven staff, you say? I'm just keeping my eye out for bosses that might have something I want. Yeah, glowing gaze works nicely with mind burn. Or at least reasonably well. Not surprised if you're making minions with Bone Fiends in particular are very energy intensive. Ooh, an alpine seed. Don't mind if I do. Overhit barkwood. That rotwood. Excuse me. Well, mystical iron healer is not the boss I need. Is there a third location? Hang on, I'm gonna check really quickly. Apparently, Artful Deep Root doesn't have an elite, which is hilarious. Okay, so there's like 3 in this area and then 2 kind of off to the side. Which we probably won't see. But there's like 3 kind of in a row here. Where the plant bosses spawn. I do need to go down. I always have thought this has looked like a brazier. I've probably said that before. I don't know what Iron Healer does. Sounds monkish, but it doesn't really mean much. Probably is. Hey, Star Stuff. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, Elias leveled up again. Very is good for getting Elias experience points. I'm giving him 1 more point of blood magic just to protect the breakpoint against weakness. Resnor Mountain Site. Well, whatever that boss is, it ain't the one that I need for ward against harm. Fun fact, Elementalist Azir supposedly develops ward against harm in pre-searing. Or she is protecting the reality anchor, I guess. Or a reality anchor? I've just started replaying Secrets of the Obscure. On Guild Wars 2, obviously. On the character that I've been slowly playing through the whole story on. And it makes it sound like there might be multiple reality anchors. So, I don't know. I'm very curious to see what they're doing with the Visions of Eternity. Because it just feels so open to me, I don't really know what to expect. From a narrative standpoint. What is over there? Oh, that's the boss that I need, actually. But if it's over there, I don't really feel like going to get it. I think that's the one I need. It's not a primary concern. When I want to get it, I'll probably just... There's an easy place to zone for it. That particular boss outside beacons. If you just go into Lornar's, you can kind of go around the side. That's probably, like, if I need to grind for it, that's probably what I'll do. But yeah, is that Havenwood over there? Yeah. No, that's Hardwood. I need Havenwood. Not the boss I need at all. I just misread its name because it was similar. There goes my enchantments that I just spent all that time putting on. Thankfully, I got a quick recharge on Elemental Attunement, so that's good. Also, what happened to my energy? Well, I'm dual attuning now, so I should be fine. Okay, that thing burnt real quick. I do appreciate that the pine souls are kind of actually weak to fire, you know, but with them being plants. Okay, Doliac Masters are a real pain. Yeah, you run out of there. Pretty low armor, actually, which is nice. Okay. Man, I don't know. Just that view over that valley is really nice looking. Okay. Well, my objective right now is Copperhammer. Do I have the go? Not that one. Yeah, I need to do Dropping Eaves. Yeah, okay. I have the quest that I need. I just need to go do it, which is easily said. I'm almost to the spot where I can do it, so that's what I was coming out here to do. So I just need to clear out the rest of these. Stone Summit. Do my best Acolyte or best Orion impression. Except a bunch of enemies wandered into it, so it's not a bad thing. I kind of like giving the BIP Prot Spirit. It gives them the ability to defend themselves. Okay, yeah. Random monster. Yeah. Yeah. You're using the bandit skin from friggin' pre-searing, so you're automatically untrustworthy. That's how that works, right? Yes. You do this, Koss. Please don't walk slowly on my account. Friggin' need to be able to turn RP walk on, but this game doesn't have RP walk, so I can't. Creatures here know better than to harm me, but you may have to fight. I did. It was easy. I don't know what happens if I run past her. I don't want to avoid triggering her at a waypoint and having to run back to get her. She's taunting me as if, I mean, obviously they can't have variant dialogue so easily, but she's taunting me as if I'm not doing well. Thank you, Koss. No, make use of the charge, please. Thank you. Once we finish her off, we're going to go to Copperhammer. And it will take a third the time to run there. Excuse me, Sasuke. I want to borrow your attunement. No, it was just tediously boring because you walked very slowly. I had to see my power for myself. I barely did anything. I healed like 3 spawn. So clear, I should have brought my cloak. Well, she's down. Don't know, kind of expecting that, so... Okay. Excellent, excellent. That means I can go not map yet, because I need to step inside Copperhammer. But once I've done that, I can go get my 15 attribute points, and then I can have all of my attribute points, which will be very good. Actually, does this quest give... 5,000 experience will also be really good for leveling up Elias, which is welcome. That wind does a really good job of sounding cold. I just have an ambient wind sound effect going on there. Well, I didn't get the boss, but that's okay. We can try again another day. And other rhymes. I will eventually want blurred vision on this character, but I don't really need it right now. Okay, Drachner's Forge. Yes. Augustine of Ascalon's Chosen. I think Ascalon's Chosen is that Adelbern's guild? Or it might be the guild that Devona's father was in. I don't know. Yeah, one day they're set upon by Maraga, consumed her father, and bound her to his will. I always want to seek out the most powerful for drew strength from those it absorbed. You are a true hero. You are too powerful for the demon, and now you are free. She is free. More importantly, I have all of my attribute points as far as like mechanics go. Okay, excellent. I'm sure that helped Elias get closer to level 18 as well. Go up there. That'd get me towards Glyph of Energy, which is never a bad choice, but it does remove camp. Yeah, lots of good stuff over that direction, but nothing that I particularly need at the moment. Okay, it's probably time to take on THK. I think I might want 2 seconds to capture. Let me check. Does THK to go to Thunderhead Keep on the wiki? It does. That's fantastic news. Dagnor does not have an elite skill. Interesting. Okay, there's no reason to bring Signals of Capture here. Just looking at what the wiki is indicating, there's a 1 in 6 chance of Thunderclap. That's just not worth it. So, I won't. Could bring Intensity if I really wanted to. I don't really feel a need for that. I think I'm just going to use Glyph of Sacrifice, Meteor Shower in this spot here because it's fun and I like it. I'll probably get Thunderclap and Ring of Fire. I'm going to want to bring a couple Signals of Capture to that too because I want to get the Idol on there. Having Thunderclap available for Vivek would be a huge improvement though, so it's definitely something that I'm wanting to cap. This bar is fine. Yeah, definitely more stuff for me to be unlocking though. That's just a bonus Conde removal. I mean, might as well, right? Yeah, charges is big thing. I should throw his extra points in strength though. That gives him a little bit of armor penetration at least, so it's not worth. It's not worth it. It's worth it, is what I'm saying. $64 wood planks. Now that is what I call highly salvageable. Okay, what rune did we get? Tormentors. Major Illusion is probably not worth anything, but Tormentors almost certainly is. Got so much random stuff here. Like these Marks of Aiden? Why am I carrying these? Why not, I guess, but they don't actually contribute anything. That's worth 51 gold. These would be a bit of dust. I'm not gonna worry about that too much, I think. I don't think I'm strapped for dust at the moment. I have 98 dust and 250, so I have a stack of dust also hanging out. I've got plenty of cloth too, which is nice. I've been needing more tanned hide though in general, so. There's the merchant. Probably go like 11, 10, 10. Seems good. I'm gonna grab a new salvage kit while I'm here. Since my current one is almost expired. Alright. Excellent. Oh, this is gonna suck. Okay, Vec. I just saw your shameful resurrection skill of resurrect. Resurrect might as well have a 2-second cast time. Like, I think there's an enemy that uses a special version of Resurrect that has a 2-second cast time. I might as well have that because it's just so bad. It should have something going for it, but even like a 5-second cast time, like with an 8-second recharge. Yeah. I mean, Res Chant obviously has a very long cast time, but Flesh My Flesh is 4 seconds, which is a no recharge, but costs half your health, so different trade-offs, different trade-offs. Man, THK is so long. But once I'm done with this, I'll be able to acquire a bunch of very useful skills. Get up here and drop rocks on those guys. Oh man, look at an enemy actually weak to fire. They're level 24 and they're taking more damage, so they have less than 60 armor against fire. Which is just spectacular. I think, yeah, Elias just got a level. I'm gonna level up his protection prayers, I think. Make him a little bit more effective at that. It's nice seeing them apply an elemental weakness that's a real elemental weakness, you know, and not just like the idea of an elemental weakness being like it has 80 armor instead of 120. But an actual weakness that means you deal more damage. Not just have your damage reduced less. Doesn't happen often, but I kind of wish that, I mean, I probably need to change him to aggressive. I'm going to change cost to aggressive, so that way maybe it'll keep my heroes from just standing around. Setting things on fire is extremely effective, though. We'll say that. Okay. Man, look at that view out over the city before. That's just a spectacular view. I really appreciate that they allow us to kind of visit Thunderhead Keep in Guild Wars 2, and I really like that they Skywatch Archipelago is probably my favorite Guild Wars 2 map because it mashes up so many different like visual aesthetics in one map. It gives you some really cool sightlines as a result. But I like that we get Draknar's Forge there. I know we technically get like a Pre-Searing Ascalon fractal, but it's not very Pre-Searing Ascalon-y. You can still turn out some good damage. Boss is determined to bring that guy down. He did so. Oh, Dolyak Master needs... Yeah, it's enchantment removed, which looks like that happened. consider bringing Drain Enchantment myself if I really want to. Do I have Drain Enchantment? I can consider getting Drain Enchantment. And bringing it myself if I really want to. I'm going to drop rocks on this particular group because I feel like it. Oh, yeah. That's what being an elementalist is about. I mean, not really, but also absolutely. It's very satisfying. The cool thing about the ruins of Thunderhead Keep in Guild Wars 2 is that you can go inside. Well, it's not entirely ruins, but partially branded. But you can go inside the structures, which is really neat. Like getting those interiors just makes more of an area to explore, you know? Dolyak Master. I have a specific pattern that I always take when clearing the city, which you may have noticed me taking now. Then I go get this group, and then I go into there and grab that group. I wonder how cozy it is inside these dwarven huts. Well, that was just rude. Let's drop rocks. Let's drop rocks. We'll automatically get a recharge with that boss anyway. Oh. Well, that didn't work. That's okay. We should just go in the normal way. Oh, King Jealous might be a little obsessed with trying to kill these guys. That was kind of my own fault, though, for inviting him to do that by standing there. Claim resource. Monster skill. Advances the plot. I don't know how else to describe it. That's what it does. ran into a firestorm and died. What I like to see my enemies doing. I don't know what's going on with Jealous. But I can tell you right now, these meteor showers are being highly effective. Very satisfying to make big rocks fall from the sky. Probably Plague Touch. What if there was a Plague Touch but for hexes instead of... It's gonna be bad for my energy. Plague Touch for hexes would be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. Thank you. I was gonna say, surely we have our hex removal available for somebody to use on King Jealous Ironhammer. The answer was yes, but also I needed to stop to give them space to do it. That was actually a useful giant stomp for me since it locked those guys in place to get hit by my firestorm. Time to avenge Prince Rorik. Elias, get another level there now. Hey, Dagnar Stonepate. How do you feel about fire? Not very good, it would seem. Well, that's Prince Rorik avenged. A little bit anticlimactic, I know, but... a lot of these guys. Well, that seems to have cleared that up. Also, I just heard the level up noise, and it was, in fact, Elias. Actually, he should put a spare point in healing prayers. He'll have one left over. Yeah. I can drop in a res chant. Yeah, because you can see Talcora has one left over. So I should get 15 attribute points that I'm going to be able to put into Soul Reaping for the last one. I'm going to just do this. I feel like I might want to cover enchantment, so Vigor Spirit makes a good cover enchantment. I was right. They did shatter my enchantment. As I expected. This is a weird, non-intuitive thing where using these enchanted torches to draw in more Mersat forces actually does make the mission a little bit easier, because the Jade armors that it summons in are just generally hostile. What sort of... Well, I guess they had guys come in and bust open the gates, right? That's the idea here. You normally would not open the gates to an attacking group of enemies, but... There. That should do. Time to try to avoid being bored. It used to be so much harder, and I think it was just something about, like, spawn rates or something? I'm not sure. It was much harder back in the day. Now it's a test of patience. Yeah, there's the Jade. Jade over there are fighting that Frost Giant. But no, and the Smoke Phantom goes down like a chump, which is okay with me. See how long the Jade survived, just milling around the middle. Yeah, the Jade armor are killing them, but they're getting their own wallop too. I'm a little surprised that one hasn't gone down yet. Yeah, Jade are pretty strong. I have no reason to chase them down or anything unless they come up here. Let them be the first line of defense. Make this even more boring, but you know, I'd like to succeed it. Yeah, the Giants got drawn into fighting the Jade. Mostly just watching it over here on the compass. Will this Jade bow manage to take him? It might take out that Jade bow, actually. Yep, they did manage it. I think we just got another morale boost. And these Jade armors are doing a really good job of holding everyone off. You can see why the Mersat use them so much. They're highly effective against normal foes. One Jade bow has fallen, I think. That's it. I was just looking at the percentages of energy restored with the resurrection chance of my various party members. Again, they're hostile to everybody. Including these other Jade. That Jade armor is getting wrecked by Spectral Agony. That's hilarious. We might have to start taking action soon, but that's okay. You can see, like, it's probably really hard on stream, but just the really slow movement speed from Spectral Agony. The Spectral Agony, not only does it give you massive health regen and things like massive health regen and lose a bunch of HP per second, it also is a massive snare. Your actions and everything get slowed as well. Well, it looks like our initial bulwark of Jade Defenders that we summoned with our enchanted torches in order to be able to get the bonus. It's deeply worth it. Have fallen. So we'll actually have to get kind of involved in the fight ourselves. But for some reason, I'm not worried. Yeah, it was such a hard mission back in the day, though. It was a one of those tests to like make sure that you're able to handle the stuff beyond, I guess. I don't know. One of those things that I feel like there's a term that I used to know that I used all the time in college that I blanked on and probably half remember, but not entirely. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is one of those things of like a spot where people commonly fail. Something to weed people out and the people aren't ready. Something like that. Hey, random white mantle level 16 guy. How do you feel about a healthy dose of fire? Don't think he likes it much. Let me grab these giant boots. Correction, boots belonging to a giant. Giant no boot. Your searing heat is mildly annoying. Pantherus the Deceiver. I thought that sounded like a mesmer, and it was. Is. I was correct. Once we win here, I can get Rodgort's Invocation. That will be good. What other elites? Or other elites, as if Rodgort's Invocation is elite. It is not. Elemental Attunement, but I already have that. That's on Perdition Rock. Oh, Glyph of Renewal. That could be a good one. I'm going to drop rocks on this boss. Oh my goodness, Mersat bosses are tanky. Oh yes, use physical resistance, please. Decrease your elemental armor. Left hand of grounds comes for us. We're getting close. We're getting close. The end of this. It's not been terrible. I've enjoyed watching the little fights against things. You know what I heard? Apparently, WotC went to Wizards of the Coast. People who make Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons went to the like people who made like Mass Effect and were like, "Hey, you want to make another one, another like sci-fi RPG?" And yeah, apparently that's something that's happened. I don't know what's the end result that's going to be, but speaking of which, I should try Baldur's Gate 3 sometime. I tried Divinity Original Sin. I need to finish or like play through Divinity Original Sin 2. Divinity Original Sin, did I play that on stream? I feel like I might have, but I definitely got really frustrated by that game. I'm used to enemies respawning, and not respawning enemies meant that you couldn't just like grind levels, which is a little irritating. But also like had an extremely linear story, but not a linear world, which in a way that was really convoluted and confusing. And it had a bunch of puzzles that I found very much so guess what the developer is thinking. So I don't know. I had kind of mixed feelings about the first one, but I heard somebody say like the Divinity Original Sin games walked that way Baldur's Gate 3 could run. So now I've heard a lot of good things about it. So, you know. Thunderclapping. I will want those Mursak garments. It's also a low priority. Antidote Signet was definitely a worse skill, but a better balanced one before it removed any condition in addition to the ones that it does remove. It used to be just remove the name conditions, poison, disease, and blind. And it didn't always remove that additional condition. So Remedy Signet actually had a lot more of a place back then. I don't remember when that changed to adding an additional condition was added, but it made Antidote Signet a lot stronger. It was a lot more niche before then. Still useful, particularly against things that spam blind, but... The Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire. Let's see. As you can get Obsidian Flesh. An Elemental Attunement. Is that the only... Surely there's another thing on Perdition Rock. I don't think so. Elementalist Elites are kind of weirdly distributed now that I'm thinking about it. I want to get Mind Freeze at some point. I mean, obviously... Oh, never mind. I got Mind Freeze at some point. Mind Shock? Where's Mind Shock? Mind Shock was really, really good at the Norn Fighting Tournament. That I do remember. Running build with like Mind Shock. I think Summon Naga Shaman. Which I don't need to get Summon Naga Shaman for my challenge run because it's a PvE only skill and those don't unlock. But yeah. Anyway, something that inflicted weakness on a rating charge, maybe. Because then you would get regular knockdowns from stoning from the other guy. Which is also quite good. So far, King Jealous has been extremely cooperative, which I have quite appreciated. So here's an interesting question. If you're balancing this game, and if you look at it right now and you say, wow, Elementalists are not in a good spot relative to Mesmers, how do you fix it? Do you fix it by buffing Elementalists in some way, or by nerfing Mesmers? That is an interesting question. Like, are Mesmers too much of an outlier that needs to get pulled down? Or are Elementalists just deeply underperforming? Interesting to think about, isn't it? In this specific case, you'd nerf Mesmers because they outclass every other class. Yeah, I think there's a really strong argument for that. Like, Mesmers just being a wild outlier. Yeah. I know what you mean. One of the other things that you have to consider is if you buff Elementalists, you buff PvE enemies as well as players, depending upon how you're handling the buff. Like, part of it too, though, is armor ignoring damage just needs to be weak to make armor respecting damage meaningful. It's like Necromancers also could be a lot more potent in the damage variety, or like the damage department. But like then they start dropping into the same territory that is currently enjoyed by Mesmers. Except with better energy management, and they don't need that. But yeah, I'm with you. Like buffs feel better than nerfs. Sometimes the correct solution is just functionality change too. But like energy surge is one of the biggest problem skills. But I think there is a way that you could approach it where rather than changing any skills, you change enemies around. Like you change enemy skill bars and stats. Were you here when I was talking about doing Frostgate in hard mode on an assassin and just being so fed up with getting spammed with empathy that I brought a monk specifically to use Spellbreaker? Yeah. I do think the PvE PvP split kind of changed that. I wish that they wouldn't nerf certain like farming builds too. Like I wish Spirit Bond didn't have the hit cap and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it turns out. Well, the other thing too is I really want Mysticism Dagger Tangs because then I'm like, oh wait, I could just use Vow of Silence on. It wouldn't have full uptime or whatever, but it would give me a reprieve. But yeah, dropping Spellbreaker because then I also went with Channeling Magic with Writ, so I brought Splinter Weapon and Ancestor's Rage on it. But getting a hold of Mysticism suffixes is not easy, or any specific suffix. But yeah, Daggers of the Dervish would give you an opportunity to use Vow of Silence. I mean, there's always Shadow Form as well, but that limits your damage. But it felt like righteous revenge to be able to say, nah, I'm just gonna Spellbreaker myself. You can't empathy me anymore. Man, those friggin' Stone Summit sages are just so terrible. And this actually goes back to some of the problems with Mesmer, right? Like fast casting when it's at like 20 spec is like a 60% reduction. Let's see. Gwen fast casting. Yeah, so at 20 it's 60%. So it's a 4-second recharge on yeah, I don't know if it would be. But it's a like I was saying, a 4-second recharge on empathy, so they can really just spam it like crazy. Well, one of the other options that I was considering too that would actually make mysticism really interesting is Avatar of Dwayna, which I don't have unlocked on this account yet. But Avatar of Dwayna, I was looking at this. Yeah, this one. At 5 has a 37-second duration. And so it's not 100% uptime, but it only works on dervish attack skills, though not all attack skills, which is a little bit of a bummer. But it still would potentially give you the ability to deal with some of that nonsense. Oh my goodness, that was highly effective rocks. That felt good. Oh, I gotta get his clothes. I don't know why it doesn't just end the mission there when you kill them, but I'm really grateful it doesn't. Also, keep in mind, Frostgate is a 6-person area, so you could go triple Mesmer, Vip, yourself, something, but we're not, like, metagaming it too terribly much. Okay, I'm just going to talk to Jealous. I don't have a reason to run around. I'm not going to do cartography on this account or anything like that. Yeah, you can spawn the area. It's like, it makes me wish Dunes of Despair let you explore around afterwards. Honestly, I don't know why the Dunes map isn't just explorable. I really wish it was. Okay, well, that wasn't too bad. We managed to get it through. Yeah, I remember back in the day.
Not even death will save you from my wrath.
Okay, that's nice. I remember back in the day, you'd be able to use some of the Necromancer corpse teleports because they were actual teleports. So you'd lure some scarabs up before you started the thing, and then you were able to. I'm gonna expert salvage these because I might get rare cash materials out of them, like silk, right there. But I remember doing that to get up and explore the area before starting the timer. I think there's some other ways you can kind of cheese things now. But yeah, and then everybody needing to kill themselves with vamp weapons so you could rebirth them up there. But they changed a lot of those things to Shadow Steps because there were some bugs that they needed to address by doing that. That's what I remember hearing anyway. Okay. This stuff I'm just going to do. Merchant. But it's not like, oh, it's not like they're trying to... Okay, I should maybe sell some of this extra iron. I might have a bit more iron than I, strictly speaking, need. I am happy to hang on to 2 additional stacks, but I don't think I need 3. Danlieb. I need more funds. I didn't check to see how much I had, so I'm just gonna grab 500. DAC. Yeah, you're right. I should grab that before I wander off. Rodgort's Invocation. Boom. Ah, good old Trogdor. Trogdor's Invocation. Give it to you instead of Fireball. Yeah, let's actually go do that though. Let's go. Let's go to the outpost and then do the thing. That seems like a plan. That seems like a plan and a half. Okay. They don't really talk about Argyle, Bolivar, and Cuthbert, do they? They're just extremely forgettable. They only show up in this quest. I don't think they really get name dropped much. All right, Glyph of Renewal. I do. Yeah. Okay. So there's like 2 elites out here. One of which I already have from Cantha, I want to say. I'm gonna go get the Ring of Fire outpost, and then I can use that. Okay. Well, that was a little bit unpleasant. The good news is my instant meteor shower worked very well. Bad news is those ether towers do a number on your energy. Okay, apparently we're fighting some Jade here. We'll be fine. Collector Terra. See, that's just doing printed numbers, which is what should happen most of the time, in my opinion. Rule Browbeater, that is Healing Hands boss. Over here is where the one of the drakes can spawn that has elemental, but also Bull's Charge. If I recall correctly. I think there's one more too, but I don't remember which offhand. I think it's a Necromancer skill, if I remember correctly. Gwen was getting roasted, and I don't know what was going on with that. You guys are allowed to attack. Okay, well, apparently they are being goofy. What? Mago Hydras. That is some murky looking water. Breezekeepers, they have Migraine if I recall correctly. And Wastrel's Worry, which is not too much of a worry if you spam Flare. And wouldn't it be amazing if you could get rid of your own headaches with remove hacks? Yeah, it would be. I'm just gonna drop rocks on those guys. Okay. Captain Grumby. They got all of the loots, right? Yeah. You destroy the inner council like you're swatting a fly. Oh, that dialogue's kind of weird because it's like folding in on itself. Also, there's a level 14 Mesmer here, which is pretty shocking because that feels like an effort to be only level 14 by the time you get here. Okay. How am I approaching this? Step 1. I got my inventory. $40 iron ingots. I wanted 7 steel ingots. Oh well. Okay, let's drop these off and pick myself up a new kit. I will need to take out... I don't know, I'm just gonna grab the 400 gold. Did I just do 100? Okay, whatever. I'll deposit the extra again like I usually do. Nicky Cash. Jake King backwards over here. Give me an expert kit to cart around. Okay. So I'm going to quickly check. Right. I need to go. Hang on. Step 1. Zaishan Scout. I don't know what the bounty is for today. Is this one I want to pick up too? Joff's the mitigator? Yeah. That's a boss that I should just go after for other reasons. It has a elite that I'd want. Okay. Elonian travel is not the most useful spot to be at the moment. I need Tyrian travel. Okay. Now, as I'm running back here, let's go ahead and look up Ring of Fire. Yes, this is about the mission, which is what I wanted. Okay. There are, I kid you not, 3 elite skills that I want from this. I'm going to need to grab another Signet of Capture. It's good there aren't more because that is all of the Signets of Capture you're allowed to bring since I changed it to a PvE only skill from being just a skill. I'm gonna need a platinum probably. Okay, let's go to my guild hall. I can grab a capsic here, right? Should be able to. Probably gonna drop those. Thank you. Glowing Gaze is really nice. Would I rather have Glowing Gaze than Fireball? Yes, I think so. Oh man, this is... Okay. The best case scenario is the Freeze Rider is at the early spawn point. Man, this is a compressed bar. It's not a bad bar, but it's very compressed. I feel a lot better now that he has Rodgort's Invocation. And dual attune properly. So what I'm thinking about right now is we're going to be dealing with a lot of ether towers, and there's an argument for wanting somebody who is, like Koss, less affected by them, but I think we're just going to roll with just Koss here. Yeah, that's probably fine. Okay, and I got this. I'm obviously not doing the second bonus, but okay. But I want Thunderclap, Mist Form, and Ether Prodigy, which are all available in this mission. We should not be dealing with these Mersats. I mean, we could, but it doesn't save him and it wastes time, so... Okay, this one wants vengeance and is a monk, so it's an idiot. Come on, go follow your scripting. Or not, it's whatever. Okay, we're going this way. We're going this way. I appreciate your bloodthirst cost, but we're going this way. I mean, I have him on aggressive, but that's because they weren't even engaging in the first place without it, so. I'd rather have a little bit of over-eager aggro and things working the way I want otherwise than... I see that group sneaking up behind us over there. Some Jade. See if we can give them the slip. Ow. Ow. You know, Glowing Gaze is just kind of a subpar skill if you're not actually getting the energy back from it. Okay, Ether Seal down. That guy had no energy. Without infused armor in hard mode. Now that is giving yourself some challenges. Definitely like Prot Spirit and Spirit Bond help a lot with that sort of thing. Since you can mitigate Spectral Agony a great deal through those. Volg Pain Brain. Oh. Sure. Made it like a new armor set or something, probably. Just hadn't infused it. You can get it infused in this mission. That's what doing the bonus is about. Though honestly, if you ask my opinion, the back gate is just way harder to get through than like slowly but carefully making your way through the front. Ah, that works too. Yeah, it's nice to be able to go get infused there. Man, Mind Burn is so good. Hey, Ancient Seer. I'll take care of it. The back way is just pain and suffering because you're dealing with an absurd number of... First, extremely painful rangers. They're less painful than they used to be, but they're still very painful. And then you have the friggin' imps that will drop meteor showers on you while you're wading through lava. I don't know who thought that was the easier route, but it is not. I'd rather contend with the front door. But the problem is I might have to go that way to get the Ellie boss. Back there. I hope not, but always possible. The being on fire particle system looks pretty nice. Oh my goodness. Did you see how much... Okay, Koss, why did you not rush off to go fight this guy? What was so unspecial about this guy that you just didn't feel the need to do that? There might be an Etten that just died over there. That happens sometimes. Okay, Ether Seal down. That's good. I'll probably be wrapping up the stream soon after I finish this because it'll be about time for supper. Nice little jump there. Okay. Okay, I think Spite Spew might be the one that I want. I'll have to double check, but I think it might be. I hope it is. It's perhaps the most accurate thing that I can say. No, it's not. It's the Mesmer boss. Ugh. It means its elite is Migraine, which is certainly what it's trying to give me. I could capture Migraine on this character, but I don't really want it, so I'm not going to. Okay, we might be aggroed a few too many of these guys. Yeah, I'm just trying to move my mouse pad and moved the camera. Okay. Like I said, I could capture Migraine here, but that's not really a skill that I'm going to want on this character, so I'm not going to. Fun fact, if you have like a longbow or something, you can get up on some of these elevations and like snipe these ether seals. Maybe not that one, but you can definitely do this other one. You can definitely stand up here on this ridge and shoot down on the Aether Seal. I don't know why I just used this enchantment that's going to be instantly stripped off, but I don't like what's happening to our health bars. Okay, back up. We'll need to recover our health and energy before we go crack the other one. Actually, the boss giving us a Well of Blood was really nice. I don't have any res scrolls, but it would be handy. For now, we're just going to chill here and bip, I guess. Okay, I think we are ready. This is going to work a lot better if I unflag my heroes. Me, why aren't they doing anything? Also me, get over here and stay over here. Not really worth mine burning. It's just going to take melee damage from flare. Okay. So the ideal thing to do here is to aggro. Okay, I don't like being this far out. But I have been successful. Because we want to clear out the Mersat here. Coventina the Matron. Yeah. Nothing like forgetting your flags. Okay. How's everyone looking? I'm gonna go cost enough energy. Flag everyone over here. So that way we're in range to actually attack this thing. Okay. Again, a pain in the butt to break through, but so much easier than going the other way. Wait for some health bars to recover, or energy bars to recover, I should say. I don't remember. Odalin this, please, I'm pretty sure is the Necromancer, which may mean the Elementalist is in a bad spot. I don't remember if Maida is the Ellie or the Mesmer. Okay. Those are down. Means this is spawned on us. Isn't bad. Okay. First elite that I want, Mist Form. Probably not really worth using a whole lot here, but, you know, that's what you get for not having any water magic. It would technically work. Whenever you cast an elemental spell, it would heal my allies a bit. Okay. Let's go turn our bonus in. Gonna grab my loot first. Also, while I'm at it, I am going to make sure I swap to this Aeromancer's headpiece, just that way I can make sure I get that infused. What do we got going on? Hornbow. Pain. Pain could contain steel. It did. It was a steel, you might say. Ho, ho, ho. Okay. Yeah, I got leather out of that, which is nice. These I'm just going to sell. They'd give me a decent amount of dust, but I'd rather just have the gold, I think, from those. Well, that was me looking at that for a little while. You run slower holding these guts. But what you're going to do? Wait for cost to charge at you, mostly. And this reminds me, I think I remember reading, like, on the wiki, that henchmen actually have a run speed of something like 102%. Like, it's just a little bit extra, so that way it's easier for them to catch up with players. Heroes do not have that buff, though. The problem with healing in lava is that you're standing around in lava. I remember in Mist Form used to prevent you from taking physical damage. You could still, like, take damage from other types, so, like, elemental damage would work, but... There's something... really cool, in my opinion, about swapping to an elemental damage weapon to attack the Eidolon while it had Mist Form up and getting your damage in. Of course, that's not been a thing for a very long time, but... Honestly, I think I should have just made physical attacks against you miss. Kind of like one of the effects Shadow Form used to have before it was changed to the version it is now. Because Shadow Form used to be like, you can't... Attacks against you miss, spells against you fail. When this enchantment ends, you lose all but like 50 health. But then people were finding ways to try to maintain it, and so they eventually made the version that like nerfed your damage and other things. So I don't know. Or capped your damage. It was one of those designs that was basically like so niche that either it's broken or it's useless. There's a lot of skills kind of like that, where if it was good, it would be overpowered, but because it's not good, there's no point in ever using it. They did eventually change the whipping boy of bad skills, which was Otyug's Cry. That used to make all monsters, or like all wild animals hostile to everything in the area. This was determined to not do very much because hostile animals being first, they'd attack you. So it wasn't even like you're doing anything. They might attack enemies. But B, they were all level 5, so it was particularly not useful. You know what? I'm going to cast Mist Form because why not? It's here. Might as well heal everybody for 2 health. Okay, let's break this Ether Seal. Yeah, this is the Necromancer. Water Ellie Healer is a very neat idea, that, to be honest, is I think maybe what you're trying to say. Being absolutely betrayed by your typing, but yeah, it is a neat idea. Yeah, as I like to call it, auto miscorrect. Okay, is Meta the... I think it is. Oh, it is, in fact, mine. Okay, cool. Let's go get this elite. Ow. I don't know what I expected, but I got thunderclapped. Man, they are so tanky. Okay, give me that thunderclap. Thank you. Ah, now I too can have the power of random air magic interrupts. Man, thunderclap used to be really bad. Yeah, my problem with autocorrect is it is helpful approximately 50% of the time. Maybe like 55. But then the rest of the time it makes the thing that I was typing wrong. It's just like good enough, or like useful enough that I can't like get rid of it or whatever. But it also is just like not useful at the same time. Melik the Virtuous. Oh, I see. I'm gonna thunderclap it because why not? So you can open the gate from this way if you have the right types of skills. That's good to know. I'm coming out this way because I want to go get the other boss, and it's out here somewhere. Am I casting really bad thunderclaps just because I have it? Absolutely I am. Ooh, a Scroll of Slayer's Insight. That's like 400 gold or something. Okay, everyone over here, please, where you can actually hit the thing instead of, like, being somewhere you can't hit it. Okay, we're in wanding mode. Ether seals suck, but we got it. Actually, is this the... Yeah, I don't remember. One of them actually like has a little bit of value. And then there's the one that actually has real value, and that's Lightbringers, and that one's hard to get, so. I think our energy stores will be okay. These lava imps are a real menace, though, and so I'm a little worried about them. I'm not worried about these phantoms, on the other hand. They are just irritating more than threatening. Maybe I should upgrade them to... No, I think they're... Yeah, they definitely create a different gameplay challenge, and I like that they reward physical attackers, especially warriors, because they don't do anything about adrenaline, just energy. So they're specifically like an anti-caster measure, which I think is really interesting. Where am I even looking out here? I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever done this before. Oh my goodness, their mind burns hurt. But my mind burn also hurts them. Okay, we're gonna need to take a moment to recover. These guys are just terrible. Has Elias leveled up yet? He has. I did want to give him one more point of soul reaping. Get a little bit more energy to fuel his spirits. Honestly, I'm glad we have his additional defensive... Grun Gale Surge. I think that's the one that I need, actually, so that's convenient. If we can survive to get it. Well, I interrupted something. Got a Molten Heart, which... No! Grun Gale Surge is not the one I need. Why do I keep thinking they're the one that I need? It's like Pit Ether Spew or something like that. This is... I like this one. This is Shield of Deflection, but this is not... Man, having to go skill capping in missions is kind of rough. What if I interrupt the Mesmer? The Elementalist interrupting the Mesmer sounds wrong, but here we are. I did it. It worked. I was happy. And stopped a headache with a thunderclap. Let's not think too hard about what these mechanics are representing. Other one must be back here somewhere. This is still better than going the other way around. I'm like fairly confident in that. Because over here is Spiderland, and Spiderland sucks. So... Oh man, I don't want to fight these lava imps. Okay, hopefully I stopped some mine burns from killing us. And thankfully somebody has Cry of Frustration and stopped other mine burns from killing us. Okay, by that point in time I didn't have any energy. We need to recover health and energy. All of these bosses should theoretically spawn. I'm actually going to quickly check the map, though, just to make sure it doesn't spawn the other spot. Okay, yeah. Another spawn point is over here. That's what I thought. Oh, we're going to have to go back through this malarkey. What a good word, malarkey. Okay. Well, we got some more lava imps to go kill. Okay, somebody heal Talcora. Goodness, Talcora was an idiot. Okay. Okay, Talcora, stop being a moron and get onto the friggin' rock instead of hanging out in the lava like somebody who wants to be charbroiled. Okay, we're good to go. The good news is if you're standing in lava, one of the worst parts of mine burn being set on fire for like 11 seconds doesn't happen because you're already on lava from the you're already on fire from the lava. Okay, Talcora just expired in the lava while Dunkoro is sitting around spamming Healing Breeze. I'm going to turn off his Healing Breeze because he's... Yes, use Word of Healing. I'm going to have Healing Breeze again. I like Healing Breeze. Healing Breeze is a good skill. But sometimes... Okay, there it is. Spray Burst. Okay, I just don't even know the names of any of these things, but that's okay. We made it. We've made it. We are doing okay. We're going to drop a Firestorm on an Elementalist boss that has kinetic armor. Okay, maybe... I'm just going to interrupt everybody with things. Okay. Okay. We currently have a skill bar with 4 elites on it, which is totally normal and a thing that happens. Ether Prodigy is technically usable, but also just not very good with my current bar. I'm not that intensive. I don't have to go that way, and I don't have to fight spiders. So overall, even though this sucked, it was the deepest freaking possible spot for that boss to be. It was still better than if I hadn't gone through the front door and had tried to go around the back. Plus, one of the bosses I wanted was that way anyway. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad the Elementalist boss wasn't in the last... The Elementalist Mersat boss wasn't in the last possible spot. That was good. Like, the only skill Dunkoro knows how to use is friggin' Healing Breeze, and I don't know who taught him how to monk. But they didn't know what they were doing. I healed everyone for 5 health. That was about how that would go, yeah. The good news is this is mostly just dealing with hot lava. I'm going to have to go here with my monk to capture that, which is not exciting. Thankfully, there's another spot to capture Migraine, as I recall. I think you can get that in Eye of the North. But I think I actually have shield. I have Shield Reflection unlocked on my account because I think I got it on my Whammo. My warrior. Okay. Energy and health and everything's doing okay. Charge temporarily remove the cripple from the lava, which is nice. Those phantoms are there, and we could theoretically end up fighting them, but I kind of would prefer not to. I think we're going to. Well, you're just being rude, aren't you? Yeah, enjoy the 2 healths of healings that I am spamming around. Okay. At this point, it should be pretty winnable, at least. Something about that skybox is making me think of some of the skyboxes you see in the original, like, Ultimate Doom. Original Doom. Okay, okay. Somebody is lagging really far behind. I'm going to guess it's Dunkoro. Yes, we definitely do not want to run ahead without Dunkoro. He is our healing monk whose first priority is to put Healing Breeze on the entire party. Again, I really like Healing Breeze. It stops you from needing to do a lot of micro heals and stuff, and it's really useful, but if that, like, they don't know how to heal. They don't know how to heal. I mean, they're okay, but they're just not very good at it. They don't know what they're doing. Ow. Well, that was rude. Man, wouldn't this have been cooler if my elite that I brought with me was Master of Magic? That would have been so cool. Okay. We got a ranger boss in the middle, which is fine. I think if you kill the boss in the middle and then kill these ones wandering around the side, it works out okay. Like you can capture. I think it's just once all of them are dead. This becomes the Abaddon's Mouth outpost, incidentally. Okay, we get rid of some of these. Random Mersat hanging around the edge. I don't need to capture off this guy, so. Yeah. That's what my thought, or my recollection was for how this worked. I will get your clothes for free. Okay. There we mourn a brave dwarf who laid it all on the line. Okay. Let's just go to Embark Beach and turn in our quest to the... where? I spawned in a really bad spot for this. This is almost certainly granite. I was right. Not even very much granite. That was deeply not worth. Pyromancers? Okay, yeah, Pyromancers is not worth anything. I can guarantee you that. Okay, I'm going to clean up my inventory. Get my character back to Abaddon's Mouth for Lator. And then we're gonna call the stream there. But it's been a good one. It has been a good one. Where is... I do want to speak with this rune trader about this. Tormentor still worth something. What's this? Illusion actually has a little bit of value. Not enough, but a little bit. Okay, Tormentor's is worth a little bit. It fluctuates. But 500 is way more than what that was worth otherwise. Zopak. My skill bar is absolutely ravaged. Yeah, Lightbringer is worth 10. 10 gold, or 10 plat. This is worth 400, but I will still sell it because I'm not going to use it. I'd rather have the money. Okay, I do have copperization coins there. That's good. Zenshu. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, you too. And I'm glad you were able to drop by. It was nice to have someone to chat with. It always is. Oh man, look at all that money I get to drop into the bank. Almost 2.5 plat. Okay. Tyrian travel. Take me back to Abaddon's Mouth and... Whew. We went skill capping. It was a successful skill capping. I don't think there's anything that I need to cap from Abaddon's Mouth, but that can be a consideration for future me. Glowing gaze there. Fireball here. I like Rodgorts, but it's way too energy intensive for here. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Well, I think that has been a successful day of... I've unlocked like 3 or 4 elite, like 3 elites. That's pretty good. And Rodgort's Invocation. So that's been very good. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.